Hey guys, it's Rising. It's Rising up the ranks as always. I hope you guys enjoy this video as always. Again, I'm gonna do my usual thing. I would like for you to visit my Discord server, link down in the description. Instagram, Rising Draws, DeviantArt, Rising Draws 1, and my other channel called Rising Rants now. And I'll also put that in the description down below. But other than that, let's get right into this video. This is kind of a revamp, because I definitely have a different series that I think got around 1K something around there to 1K in views. So I'm revamping it because I completely forgot what I was gonna do with that series. I hadn't done it in so long. But this is What If Naruto Left the Hidden Leaf Village, Part 1. So he actually leaves when he's young, like in the picture, and this is because this is actually right after the Land of Waves mission, and he's going back, and of course he's still being ostracized, calling the demon. We call him the demon, and of course every other thing under the sun. And Naruto is just finally done with it and especially after hearing Sakura say, "I don't want to be with you, demon," under her breath, and Hinata, that one person that was nice to him, because she had heard of what Naruto did and what Naruto really is, and she was disgusted, to say the least, because she's still young and she's more brainwashed from the main family in than in the original. So she wants nothing to do with Naruto. And Naruto finally snaps. He straight up just says, "You know what? You all want me to leave so badly? Fine, I'll leave. But when I come back to destroy this place, don't say nothing." And he walks out. And the guards just let him. They just don't care. They don't like him either. And he walks out. He starts going to the forest of death. And he's like, "I don't know how I'm going to survive here, but I guess I'll learn." And he starts to do push-ups and starts doing strength training, and also learning how to use kunais along with blades that were found in dead bodies that died in the forest of death. And he's genuinely surviving there for about 1 to 2 years. And so, he's surviving there for about 1 to 2 months before Toby arrives. He heard the nine Toujin Judiki left, and he went searching for that time, and he found Naruto almost immediately. He just wanted to see how strong Naruto was. And he finally approaches Naruto, and he says, "Boy, I can train you." It's like, "I don't need your training, ninja." He's like, "Oh, do you think I'm from the village just trying to take you back?" And he's like, "No, I could tell you don't have a headband. But what's those robes that you're wearing?" "These are Akatsuki robes. We specialize in hunting tailed beasts." And Naruto, after hearing that, Naruto gets in defensive mode. He pulls out his blade, and Toby says, Relax. I'm not here to capture you. I actually want to train you to destroy that village. The village that turned their back on me as well." And after Naruto hears this, he's very keen to help Obito. So he's like, "Of course I'll then train me, and of course I'll help you in destroying that village. The village that wants to ostracize me so bad." And Toby pulls out a robe from his Kamui dimension. Well, technically he goes into Kamui dimension and pulls the robe out then. And then he says, "Here you go, boy." And Naruto takes it and says, "Stop calling me boy. My name is Naruto, and I know you know that." He's like, "Of course I do, Naruto." And Naruto puts it on, and he feels a warmth about it. And like on the picture to the right, he hugs it as if it was someone. And he starts slipping into the Nine Tails after this. Like, the Nine Tails realize this is his chance, so he's slowly starting to corrupt Naruto as well. And he's slowly starting to pour more and more Nine Tails chakra into Naruto. Now, we're gonna skip, I'm gonna say, 2 months, right about the Chunin exams. And Naruto is just he's very powerful. I think he's gonna be about the average Chunin level, but he's just sitting there on the stands. "Look at these weaklings, fighting and fighting. I could destroy them with a single sweep. But unfortunately, the Hokage and Jonin are there. But I should keep going. But I should go now. And before he goes, he looks at the Naruto. I mean, not the Naruto. The Sasuke versus Gaara fight. And he's like, Gaara, a Jinchuriki. Here, maybe I should capture him. And Toby slips in and says, I know what you're thinking, Naruto. And don't even think about attacking him. He's Jonin level. He's pretty strong. He may even kill one of our own members if they're sloppy with dealing with him, even now. He says, fine. And Naruto says, how did you know I was thinking that? But whatever. I guess I have a little bit more training to do. And they slip away. Now, we're going to be actually skipping towards 2 years. And Naruto is very powerful. He's actually above Jonin level, but he's not Hokage level. He can easily kill a whole squad of Anbu. Anbu. But if the third Hokage, I think he's dead now, or any other Kage appears next to him, then he will most definitely die trying to fight them. And besides Gaara, obviously. And he's actually placed on a team with Deidara and Sasori because they needed that extra member. And he's like, I want the Jinchuriki. He's mine. And Deidara is like, art is an explosion. And my art shall be plastered all over this village. You can have him. Sasori just like, I'm going to find my grandmother. I'll be back. He's like, yes, I can fight that Jinchuriki. And Naruto just starts slipping by. He has the headband, Hidden Sand headband. And no one recognizes Naruto because the sand and leaf are technically still in the lines, but the leaf didn't want to tell the sand that they lost the Jinchuriki. And so he's just slipping by, and he goes to Hokage and requests an audience with him, of course. And when he gets in there, he's like, hey, you two Anbu, can you move real quick? And they're like, what do you want with the Hokage? And of course, this is Tomaru and Kankuro. It's like, I said, move! And he starts releasing Naruto's chakra. And that makes them fall to their knees. Like, the pure amount of presence Naruto has makes them fall to their knees. And Gaara's just like, so you're a Jinchuriki as well. But don't you belong to the leaf? I could feel the nine tails in you. It's like, no, I don't belong to the leaf. You couldn't tell by my robes here. And he rips off his shirt and to reveal his robes, which has all Akatsuki. So the Akatsuki, red clouds. And he's like, why did you join the Akatsuki? Don't you know they hunt us down? It's like, of course I do. And I'll help them as long as they help me destroy that village that turned their back on me. And Gaara's like, hatred isn't the path. Didn't Kakashi teach you that? He's like, yeah, he did. But I don't care. And he leaves, of course. And Naruto actually just leaves. He's like, I'll see you later. My two partners have things to do. And he wants to go check up on Deidara foes. They were just dropping bombs everywhere. It's like, ooh, I was gonna totally get demonetized with those words. But yeah, he's just dropping bombs everywhere. And he goes to check up on Sasori as well. And Sasori fighting his grandmother without Sakura. So Chiyo, that's her name. Chiyo is more towards the losing side. And Naruto says, I guess they don't need my help. How sad. And he grabs the blade from off of his back and appears right in front of Gaara again. And he's just like, Gaara, I give you two choices right now. You can either join the Akatsuki with me and be my own partner, or you could die right here. And Gaara just like, I'll never hunt down my own kind. I'm not a monster like you. Maybe if you had told me this 2 years ago, I would have helped you. He's just like, well, that's a shame. And he stabs Gaara in the heart. But Gaara turns into sand, and the real Gaara is right outside the window, saying, maybe you shouldn't have left me back then. And the sand that the old Gaara had turned into wraps around Naruto's legs. And it starts to crush Naruto's legs, but Naruto just says, this is so easy to get out of. And he pulls his leg both of his legs forward and it rips the sands apart. And Naruto just like wind style, wind bullets, and a can't talk right now. Yeah, and 3 bullets are fired very quickly at Gaara. Gaara, of course, has sand and he pulls it upwards to block it. And he was very, let's just say, nonchalant about the whole thing. Naruto's like, oh, I see you're very strong. Naruto disappears, grabs Gaara by his head, slams him down to the ground, and says, but I'm still stronger. And he starts to crush Gaara's head. And Kankuro starts using his puppets to try and poison Naruto. But Naruto just says, fire style. Fire wolf tracking jutsu. And a fiery wolf comes out his hands, obviously, and it completely destroys Kankuro's puppet. And Sasori comes back at the last moment and just he starts to poison. No, sorry. Yeah, Sasori starts to poison Kankuro. And they try and Tamari tries to get on the phone with the Hidden Leaf Village, and obviously not the actual phone. She just requests help with the Hidden Leaf Village. The team that is sent out is Team Guy, Team Kakashi, which consists of Sai, Sasuke, and Sakura, because Sasuke never got mad that Naruto surpassed him, and Kakashi words got through to him a little bit more, so he decided not to go with the Orochimaru. And they're starting to run as fast as they could towards the fight. Naruto's just starting to toy with Gaara, slowly breaking every bone. And he's just like, Gaara, does this hurt? And he breaks Gaara's arm. And Gaara just like, no, that doesn't hurt. And he's just trying to keep in all the pain. And since the sand, Naruto completely disarmed the sand. Like, it's not... Like, it's really... He, like, cuts off Gaara's ties with the sand. I don't know how to explain this correctly, but he completely cuts off Gaara's mother ties to the sand. The thing that protects him. That's how I can say that, yeah. And so it's not protecting him anymore since Gaara can't control it either. He's just sitting there, getting every bone in his body broken. And Naruto healing it along, too, with his Nine-Tails chakra. So when he breaks it, he heals it back into place. But it's very painful how he does it, because it doesn't instantly. So he can feel every piece of it moving in like a split second. But Sasori knows that it's going to happen and tells Naruto to hurry up and finish Gaara off. We need him anyway. And Naruto's like, nah, I think I'll play with him for a bit more. What's the worst that can happen? And Sasori says, the Hidden Leaf Village might send some ninja over here. They might recognize you and take you back. As if any of those ninjas could do that. Now, Sasori, get out of my way before I kill you too. And Sasori knows how Naruto can get when he's like this. He's seen Naruto fight before. And Naruto is leaking out Naruto's chakra now. So Sasori just says, alright then, take your time. And Sasori starts moving towards Deidara to get Deidara out of there. Because they could sacrifice Naruto really. And get him back quite easily when pain attacks. And so, he's just like, he tries to move out of the way. And he gets towards Deidara. But what happens is Deidara is still dropping bombs everywhere. And he doesn't want to move either. So, it's either Sasori leaves by himself and reports back to Pain, which he could potentially be killed for leaving 2 comrades behind. And potentially revealing information, or he stay there and fight with those 2. And he makes the great decision by staying there. And he's just like, whatever, you two boneheads gotta leave soon enough anyway. And of course, Team Kakashi and Team Guy shows up. I think it's actually, but who actually should? Yeah, I'm gonna just say Team Guy shows up. And of course, Team Guy shows up along with Team Kakashi, and Naruto is just like, oh, look, it's my old master, along with some old people, along with my old teammates. Who's this new person that replaced me? And they say, someone much stronger than you, Naruto. It's like, I literally just defeated a Hokage. Well, sorry, a Kage. It's like, so you still think that he's really still stronger than me? No, you didn't. Your team probably helped you. It's like, go ahead and attack me if you think so, Sasuke. And Sasuke has his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. And he doesn't have Mangekyo quite yet, but he has 3 Tomoe. And he straight up blitzes Naruto. Well, he thinks he blitzes Naruto because Naruto didn't move, but Naruto backhands him to the ground. He's like, come on, Sasuke. Did you really think that would beat me? And Sasuke's like, no, I didn't. And that the clone disappears. He's like, I used your own jutsu against you, Shadow Clone. So that's not my jutsu. I don't need Shadow Clones to defeat you. And Sasuke tries to rush Naruto again, but Naruto just grabs Sasuke's throat and slams him to the ground. Like, don't you ever think about attacking me again. And he starts to slowly choke out Sasuke. Sasuke is kicking and punching, but none of his blows are landing. Naruto is literally moving and manipulating his body so well that it literally he can't hit. And the one time it did hit him, it was near when Sasuke was about to pass out, and it didn't do no damage. Kakashi rushes towards Naruto with Chidori in hand, trying to stab him in his heart, and says, Naruto, hatred isn't the answer. And Naruto looks at Kakashi Chidori and grabs it, completely dissipating it. He's like, come on, this weak jutsu can't do nothing to me. And he punches and then lets go of his hand and punches Kakashi straight in the face, nearly knocking Kakashi out with that one blow. Sakura tries to come in. He just like, Sakura, to your knees. And he releases his bloodlust. Sakura falls to her knees. But Sai is unaffected. He just says, I think it's called Ink Beast Scroll Jutsu. And then he releases some words to go towards Naruto. Naruto flicks away and all the ink goes towards Sai. And it goes into his eye. At this point, Sasuke is knocked out. So he lets go of Sasuke. And he punches Sai in the stomach and says, I have no remorse for you. Maybe my other teammates, but not for you. And he stabs Sai straight in the gut. And then stabs Sai in the shoulder. He says, bye-bye, I'll be taking Gaara along with me. And he releases both his hands. And Gaara is just sitting there, kind of dazed about how strong Naruto is. And he grabs Naruto by his face. And finally just takes him, just dragging him along with him. And Sasori and Deidara finally come in, and they see the other destruction Naruto had. And it's like, I guess we didn't need to come here. And then Naruto's like, of course you didn't. I'm the strongest here. Remember that. And of course, they start to and Naruto starts to drag Gaara away. They start to run away. No one can get up. They're all completely, pretty much dead because one passed out. All 4 of them is passed out. Sai is on the brink of death. And Sakura is the first to wake up. Naruto hit her the least hardest because, he felt bad for her. Because he technically even didn't hit her. It was just his bloodlust that did that to her. That knocked her out. And she starts to heal Sai. And she does. And the whole team gets up. And they start trying to run after Naruto, Sasori, and Deidara. But nothing works. They can't catch up to them. By the time they're even halfway towards them, they're already at the Akatsuki base, sealing away Gaara. Gaara is sealed away. The Tailed Beast is extracted from him. He's dead. And Sasuke actually rushes towards it, and he finds Gaara dead there. And he starts to scream. And he does not want Mangekyo, but he could feel the power of the Mangekyo closing in. He's just like, Naruto, I'll kill you for this one. And he starts to bring back Gaara. And of course, Chiyo sacrifices herself because that's her son. Her grandchild did this. He helped to kill Gaara. So she felt a little bad and wanted to atone for her sins from all the past and revive Gaara. No one else died. And so since Gaara revived her, and since she revived Gaara, I'm so tired, I'm barely thinking right now. Since she revived Gaara, no one dies, and they get the tail beast just like in the original. I'll be leaving it off here. Again, check out my Discord server, link down in the description. Of course, check out my channel called Rising Rants, link down in the description. Instagram Rising Raws, DeviantArt Rising Raws 1. I haven't been posting on either one in quite a long time, so you'll get, when I actually do post on it again, you'll get quite a lot of pictures that I have done. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be leaving it off here. And it's Rising Guest logging off.